So, we just finished watching The Legend of the Psychotic Forest Ranger.
A movie. I mean, it was more of a movie than...
With director Brad Mills and Hobo with a Shotgun writer John Davis.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. So it's a
Okay.
film I haven't seen either, so...
Anyway, it's not a bad film show, Hobo with a Shotgun. But anyway, this one here, the dude designs the cover for this, and I'm guessing he owed somebody big time. What are we going to talk about this film? The good and the bad. Well, the film, I think,
I'd love to talk about the good. I'd love to see where that is.
trying to lampoon 80s slasher films. Unfortunately, it doesn't seem to understand the genre that it's that's kind of making fun of. For one, lack of nude sequences.
Yeah, there was none. I'll show you a nude sequence.
No, but seriously, guys, there were some. The acting in this movie was. I like Bradley, the guy. I thought he was okay. I didn't think his acting was great, but I thought he was okay. And the girl,
Likeable character.
Yeah, the character was likable. There were a couple actually likable characters, not a lot. The girl that you think is going to be kind of the main girl,
Horribly unlikable.
horribly unlikable. And I think
Almost every one of her lines is like this.
God, Matthew.
God, Dad. God. It's gonna do the review or not?
I'll show you a review. No, anyway, so basically what it's about starts 40 years in the past.
Should be the
wherever
1940s. It's set in the 80s, I think.
Though it looks like the 70s. Anyway.
It might be the 70s because, like, the phone that they had.
That would mean
like,
that the beginning
the phone
part
was
was
in
in
the
the 1930s.
No, because they invented the phone in 1973.
Yeah, but that would be more. That film. That type of phone was prevalent in the 80s. That type of
Yeah, and
So-
a lot of the stuff. But like,
But the movie's apparently set in the 80s.
I
It
guess.
says that it's. There's one dude in this that's really kind of paranoid, and he has this like elaborate explanation for
You're in on the joke.
for a practical joke that's being made, and it's like an Agatha Christie like drawing room thriller where he tells it exactly like, okay, now this person, and so he knocked a marshmallow stick out of their hands. So
I don't
he could
know what
go
that's
in.
making fun of because I've never seen that in any other like slasher movie. So, a lot of these jokes are just.
I am actually a big fan of the production company that puts out these films, and I've met these guys. This movie, the worst part of this movie, I have to say, is actually the Forest Ranger, played by I think Michael G. McDonald. And,
in one ear and out the other.
he has a bunch of lines that would make that would make Dr. Giggles scream.
I have to ask you a question.
He just is horrible. I mean, he's not a good actor. It was a bad choice. I honestly think that with another actor, this may have been a little bit better.
Yeah.
A lot better, actually. The script wasn't tight at all.
No.
Everybody narrated what they were doing.
Like,
It was like radio. It's like all of a sudden
As
it's
bad
radio.
as he was an actor, he was not the only really bad actor. This is one guy.
But he stands out because the movie, if this was to be a franchise, it has the anchor around the Force Ranger character. So if they were to bring this back, I would strongly recommend recasting. Like seriously recasting.
I have to
Force
say
Ranger.
though, there's the guy at the scene where they're all around the fire. How about we find the stick so we can play hide the stick. One of the worst actors I've ever seen in my entire life. Worst thing I've ever seen.
Awkward high fives. But okay, so basically, 40 years ago, there were these people killed. Even before that, apparently, there was a forest ranger that was caught performing satanic rituals on squirrels, and was fired from his job and mysteriously disappeared. After that, people that did things that were against the forest would get killed, or people that would get killed just anyway. So the guy hasn't changed in 40 years at all. and he eats
He
human
looks nothing
meat.
like the one that went missing, by the way.
What do you mean?
The one that went missing, you see him in the opening credits. It's the guy with like a beard and hair.
But well, we gotta assume he
I
shaved
guess he
it.
just changes. I don't know.
Or
He has a magic compass from the devil that no matter what's going on, it will lead him to the nearest teenagers.
So one thing I just noticed here in the back is that the movie was made by Brad and Jacqueline Mills. Brad would write, direct, and produce this film, and would actually have a role. I'm not sure what the role is in the film, since I don't know who played who. I do know that the actor that played the Joker, Josh DeMeyer, is actually pretty good for this. He's a likable character actor that you could see in other stuff. He's not a good actor, but he's likable in the role. The best thing about this movie is the cover.
Well, yeah.
I guess we got to get back to the plot.
What plot?
4 teenagers who just graduated from high school. I guess they got held back 15 years. Their car breaks down, and they walk around and find a house.
So like 3 feet to their left.
Yeah.
And they like stay there overnight, pretty much. They meet a forest ranger Dan. And
he's another one. He's a horrible actor.
Yeah. And they, more teenagers come over, and then teenagers start just going away because the psychotic forest ranger, who they never actually gave a name to other than, I guess, the Prowler.
I guess they're waiting for the sequel to give him a name.
The psychotic forest ranger.
It's threatened at the end of the movie.
Oh, there's a big threat at the end of the movie. We watched 2 movies now, 2 nights in a row with very threatening endings.
But I have to say, this is not as bad as the one I watched last night.
No, not even close.
This one was entertaining.
This one, it was at least entertaining. It was
very mystery science. If you're a mystery science theater fan, definitely pick it up. I mean, seriously, if nothing else, it's an entertaining film.
The one last night, though?
Apparently it was made in 2011, guys, so this movie's like 3 years old.
Really?
The Psychotic Force Ranger, I can't say I'm a big fan of his acting, so...
Ranger Dan.
I'm just looking to see if I can find the other actor. So the male camper at the beginning of the movie, and the female camper that we see get killed first, those were that was the director, and I guess his wife. The director, by the way, I'm going to check see if he's done anything else here. Filmography. Well, he did that movie.
Yeah, that was about it.
And I guess there wasn't enough want of the Psychotic Force Ranger for there to be another one. Cass, what do you think of this movie?
It was a impeccable piece of work. It was just perfect. It made me want to poo.
So you're not a fan, I'm guessing.
Maybe poo and enjoyment?
It's all over the place. I have got to watch this with commentary sometime, because I want to know what the hell they were thinking.
It has commentary?
Yeah, there's a commentary, director commentary, and stuff, writer commentary. That being said, it's worth a watch. I mean, as bad and cheesy as it is, if you watch stuff like Mystery Science Theater and Riff Tracks and
that other one,
Cinematic Titanic, or then you're probably gonna get a kick out of this. The acting is pretty bad. The blood is pretty much non-existent.
The deaths are pretty much non-existent.
Yeah, this is very light on the deaths. Yeah, but I had fun with it. It wasn't boring. The acting was horrible, and they really need to recast the Ranger. Yeah. But if there was a sequel with another actor playing the Ranger, I would probably watch it. That being said, the acting's atrocious. The script is almost non-existent. But their heart really did seem in the right place when they were making this film.
Yeah.
They were trying to satire the 80s films, but I just don't think that they had a good grasp on what the 80s slashers actually were. Still to this day, I guess Student Bodies is the best movie that has satirized 80s films, and that was done back in the 80s. But with no nudity at all, aside from some guy's ass in a mooning sequence, you pretty much can say this one misses the mark when it comes to that.
Yeah.
But as for like a short film that you can watch with with a couple buddies, having a few drinks, making fun of it the entire time, it's great for that type of thing. So if you like bad movies, check it out. If you're not a fan of like really bad, really cheesy stuff, you might want to give it a pass. But for me, it's a dude designs cover, looks pretty awesome. Glad I got it in my collection, and that's my review for that one right now.
Yeah.
And for me right now, it's time for tea.
Only you can prevent forest fires.